welcome back to another penny stock video. And today we're taking a look at SAGA Metals Corp, that's SAGMF, trading on the OTCQB market, also trading on the Canadian markets as SAGA, that's SAGA. So if you're a Canadian investor, you can invest directly through the Canadian markets. If you're a US investor, you can go through the OTCQB markets like this. But this is a recently listed domestically in the United States. This company is recently listed here, so they're pretty new to the OTCQB. So it's a new exciting story building up for U.S. investors, and it's a new opportunity. So let's take a look at what's going on here with SAGA Metal Corp. They have been a news machine lately, so we'll take a look at some of their most recent press releases in just a moment. Of course, we'll start with the share structure as we always do, and you can see we have about 30 million share unrestricted float here. So pretty low float, always good to see. And just under a $10 million market cap as well. It's only $8 million market cap right now, meaning, obviously there's a lot of upside, there's a lot of value at this current market cap here, because you'll see later in the video as we get into all the details, these guys actually have 4 wholly owned mining projects. So a lot of the recent press releases will focus on their titanium property, the Radar Titanium project in Labrador, Canada. That's what a lot of their recent press releases have been focused on, but we'll take a look at their website in a bit to show you the rest of their projects as well. They have 4 wholly owned mining projects, which are all in really good critical mineral sectors. So let's take a look at their recent press releases first, see what they've been talking about. And you can see that from June 26th here, they have SAGA Metals mobilizes and commences summer work programs, recently drilled 100% owned Radar Titanium property in Labrador, Canada, and provides corporate update. So the key thing with this, guys, if we scroll down a little bit, I actually brought it up already. You have a map here of the property. It shows, kind of the whole zone that this project covers. And then as well as their oxide layering, which they just had some excellent news about as well, which we'll get into in just a moment here. But key really here is just introduction that they have begun their summer field work programs, and they did complete some drilling already as well. And then we get into their next press release here, which is SAGA Metals appoints accomplished mining executive Peter Hagendorn to board of advisors and engages Xander Capital Partners. This is a pretty exciting piece of news here. So this gentleman, Peter Hagendorn, who's just been appointed, he actually comes from another company that had the largest discovery of potash, which is right here, which is still well regarded as the richest potash discovery in history, which is Sage Potash Corp, which also trades on the Canadian exchanges currently, and he is the CEO of that company. So this guy brings a significant amount of experience and success to the board of advisors, and it just shows how serious this project is and how serious this company is building an all-star team like this. And then they've also engaged Xander Capital Partners here, and most notably, you'll see Xander Capital Partners. They were a leading investor relations firm for over 30 years, and they most recently worked with Alpha Lithium Corp since its inception in 2019, and they were just bought out for $300 million plus in 2023. So obviously, again, engaging investor relations firm such as Xander Capital Partners once again reinforces how serious this company is about building these projects and building them to a large valuation. If we move on to the next press release here, we have SAGA Metals confirms significant oxide layering in the northwest of the 100% owned Radar Titanium project in Labrador, Canada. So once again, focused on this titanium property. And this is really significant news as well, which they followed this up with another great press release today, which we'll take a look at next. But the key to this press release here is essentially the mine itself has a lot more potential, really, right? From additional oxide layering they discovered, it has a lot more potential than they initially had evidence of from the old drilling programs from the late 90s. So this is a great discovery, very bullish for this project, because obviously with more oxide layering, that implies more metal underneath the ground that can be mined, right? So that's very bullish news for this project. And then if we take a look at SAGA Metals showcases Radar project is potentially comparable to China's Panzihuo I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. VTM deposit. Okay, so what does this mean? So what this means is the Panzihu. I have the Wikipedia page up here. It is the largest steel maker in Western China. It is also the largest vanadium product manufacturer in China. Okay, and so what they're saying with this press release is, by taking a look at all the studies and geological surveys they've done on the Radar Titanium project property, they have concluded that it is very similar geologically to this Panzihua mine, the vanadium mine in particular, right? So this implies that this property has potentially some of the highest levels of vanadium around the world, right? Because this China mine, it says here, contributes over 40% of global vanadium. Okay, so if this is similar geologically to that, obviously, these guys could become a major player in the vanadium space as well as the titanium. Okay, so this is one of the best press releases I think they've had so far. This came out today, and it really highlights the unique potential of this property. Okay, and again, here is the property, right? It has all the infrastructure already set up here. So they have a road right here, provincial road. They have an airport here. So they have all the infrastructure needed already, which is great. And obviously, here's the oxide layering zones as well. Okay. And then another thing I wanted to highlight, being a titanium project. Titanium has been in the news quite a bit lately. It's a very critical metal that they talk about a lot in regards to Ukraine. So Ukraine, a lot of these metal deals that the U.S. is trying to do with Ukraine, these mineral deals have been centered around titanium. And obviously that's a hot topic. It's very critical for defense and clean energy, solar panels, fighter jets, submarines, all of these things are dependent on titanium. And, to be less reliant on the Ukraine supply chain would be very good for North America strategically. So the fact that SAGA Metals is building out this titanium project in North America and giving access for North America access to what could be one of the largest sources of vanadium in the world here is obviously very bullish for this company as well. And then if we take a look at their website here, sagametals.com, we'll take a look at their different. Here are their 4 different projects. Okay, so you have the Double Mer uranium project, the Legacy lithium, Radar titanium and vanadium, which we just covered, and the North Wind iron ore. Now, I think it's worth highlighting that obviously being in the uranium and lithium space right now, they're 2 very hot sectors as well, some of the most critical minerals in the world really at this moment, and very much growing industries, right? So this is to own this portfolio of properties is very impressive. It's very promising. They have exposure to some of the most important minerals out there in the mining sector, so very promising to see. And then of course their partnership here highlighted is Rio Tinto partnership. So Rio Tinto, for those unaware, here they are, Rio. They trade on the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, and also some foreign exchanges, but the $60 stock, $100 billion market cap. So Rio Tinto, one of the largest mining groups in the world, and they have a partnership with Saga Metals Corp as well, specifically for their lithium mining project. So that pretty much covers all of the recent exciting things going on with Saga on the TSX, and if you're on OTCQB, SAGMF. Okay, very, very promising mining company here with an impressive portfolio, exposure to uranium, lithium, titanium, and vanadium, and iron ore. And of course, as of today's breaking news, this Radar titanium project has potential similar to the top producing vanadium company in China, right? So obviously a lot of great things going on here. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.